Hi, I'm Stefanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast.
Hey y'all, what is up? What is up? Stefanie here in Chaotic Compass. How's it going? How's it hanging? I am here solo tonight. In case you didn't know, I sip and bitch and talk about all the things that bothering me, new revelations. I'm here for life. These are the things that happen in my life. Real stories, real time. So tonight I'm talking about vulnerability. This is one of those things that have kind of come up in my husband and I's life. We have been together for about we've been married for 4.5 years. We've been together for 7.5. And it's one of those things where the more we're together, the more we're still trying to figure each other out. I don't know why lately we are constantly feeling like it's a competition. I don't know why we get into this place. I know why I get into this place because I feel like our relationship is unevenly yoked. And this is a conversation that my husband and I have we've been having for weeks now, months actually. With it being unevenly yoked, when my husband fucks up, it's really hard for me to see how it is not such a disadvantage for me. Because I have to overcompensate for his fuck up. Like, for instance, we're going to get into vulnerability, but, I always use real life stories to hopefully, help you feel that you're not alone. And so just this week, so Tuesdays are always our date night. We have two kids on Mondays, all the kids on Wednesdays, and then the other two kids on Thursday. So Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's completely chaotic. And then we're getting into this season where Ryan is working, he's running our fishing boat on Saturdays. So technically the only day that we have, is Tuesday nights and Sundays. And Sundays is usually our date to I still got to answer the phones, but sleep in, not. We literally either stay in bed all day and just veg out with TV, or sometimes we'll do shit around the house, but it's literally just one of those days where we just don't. But Tuesdays are my fill my love cup up day. Let's go have some really yummy food from a different place or a place and try something different. Tuesdays are the night where, we can reconnect and we are just us. If you go back, I've done a couple of episodes on why date night is important, how date nights look for us. Because with 4 kids and 3 different schools and all the chaos that we have going on, date nights are super, super important to me because my love language is quality time, and I'm looking for quality. I'm not looking for the time. Sitting in front of the TV and watching Jeopardy is not quality time. I'm looking for the quality time, like sitting in front of the TV and watching Jeopardy and then pausing it because a question spawned a conversation. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the deep. I'm not looking to ask about how was your day? That's super open-ended and vague. How the weather today was super weird, because it's been blowing its ass off for freaking 4 days now. And it's the same thing every day. We don't want to talk about the weather. I want to talk about the deep shit, right? Tuesday nights are my nights. This Tuesday, my husband fucked up. He forgot that his son had a chorus concert. We literally just survived a 1 middle school musical and a high school musical. Okay. And then now we've got end of the school year shit. And that was his end of the school year chorus concert for 6th grade. And my husband, I have all of these systems. If you've been privileged enough to see me on Instagram or Facebook, I go about telling you, hey, these are the things that I have in place. This is just some of the things that I have in place. I have calendars galore. There is one specifically for the kids. Write the shit on there and I'll color code it. Okay, you don't even have to color code it. Just write what they've got going on in there, because I'm not privileged enough to be a part of his kids, like the text messages and the emails, because I'm not on that. And so I need for him to relay that information to me. Or once you find it out, put it on the fucking calendar, right? So easy. He forgot. He forgot to put it on the calendar, and he forgot about it in a sense. And so he forgot to tell me, he forgot to tell his mom, he forgot to tell his dad. Ryan forgot to tell everybody that could have been there. So, but more importantly, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And so it's like, wow, we were just talking about, hey, this is what we're going to do this evening. And then I have to sacrifice, because you fucked up. You forgot to tell me. You forgot. I have to sacrifice my date night. I have to sacrifice my date night. There it goes. It's gone. Right? And so we get into this pissing contest of, well, and I have to do this, and I got to do this. And then, it's a stacking competition. And it's like, if we could just sit and actually take one thing at a time and be like, hey, you fucked up, and this is how it made me feel. And then we talk about that. And then be like, well, I'm having a hard time because my brain keeps forgetting things. And then we talk about that. Like, so we just keep breaking it down individually. And then we talk about one thing, and then we move on to the next. But no, it's a pissing contest, and be like, I'm pissed off at you because you keep fucking forgetting to use the systems. And I'm really mad because I have to sacrifice one more date night. And I'm really mad because I keep putting more systems into place, and you keep not using them. And it's like, why do I even waste my time? And then he starts beating the shit out of himself because he's mad because he forgot. He's mad because he let me down. He's mad because he's got all of these things going on, and he's forgetting. And then and so it's just this of whose life sucks the most right now. It's like, why is this competition? We're supposed to be on the same page. It was partially on Sunday, but it really carried over into Tuesday, of sitting with these things and being vulnerable and talking about a lot of these things. And it took a whole lot of energy. It took a whole lot of mental capacity of, I need for you to hear me with this sentence. I'm going to say this sentence, and if you don't understand it, ask questions. But I need for you to take this information in, and we have to talk about this information. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. I'm just trying my best to get you to take this piece of the pie, and let's dissect it and dive in. And it took a whole lot of vulnerability. What I mean by vulnerability is that my husband had to sit with me being upset at him, and then just like not really, he was upset about it, but he wasn't showing it. He was just being vulnerable to, hey, I fucked up. Sitting there with the emotions and just being, open and honest with the things that were going on. I wanted to actually get the definition of vulnerability. So it's the quality or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. So you just sit there and you're getting ready to be attacked, and you just take it. And when you're done being quote unquote attacked, you don't react. You don't get defensive. You just, shit, I'm sorry. Let's talk about this, right? That's super vulnerable. And it's so crazy because even just saying it, it sounds simple, right? But when you have been in, which my husband and I have been, when you've been in a state of chaos, a state of just fight, a state of just, you're on an uphill climb, you feel like super behind, like you're just grinding and you're just trying to keep up with the bare minimums. Every attack feels so personal. Every attack feels so just harsh. And it's like, hey man, you didn't take out the trash. You're like, oh fuck, oh my God, I'm trying my best. It's like, I can't win. It's just that one little thing. And then it sends you off into this, spiral in your head. And that's kind of how I feel on a daily basis with anything. And it's not necessarily like any attack, but in like a conversation or an argument or anything, it's anything. Like the Wi-Fi went down and I lost my shit, or the lady at the grocery store was joking with me and I lost my shit. It's anything. It's any little thing, and I feel like I'm just on the verge of a mental breakdown 24/7. It's like I'll have a nightmare and I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like crying my eyes out. And it's like, oh my, why is my brain fucking with me even harder? Like, I've already got all this shit in the world, brain. You see what I've got going. Why are you fucking with me? Like, even my own brain's turned on me. So I started to research vulnerability. I know, long story. So much tangent, but stick with me. Vulnerability. So Brene Brown, she is a huge keynote speaker. She actually has a thing on Netflix, or she used to. I don't know if it's still on there. She's funny. She has a doctorate in psychology. She did a whole bunch of research specifically on vulnerability or courage or the lack thereof. But it was so cool to see. It was one of her, I think it was her first TED Talk or one of her first TED Talks on vulnerability. You can look it up. I'll try to put it in the show notes here, but if I can't find it, just you can find it on YouTube for sure. That's why I found it. In order for connection, that connection can be either romantically, platonically, it doesn't matter. In order for connection as a human, you have to have vulnerability. The way my husband and I connected in the beginning when we were just friends, it was, we were both, I had gone through a divorce and he was going through his separation. I wasn't officially divorced yet, but I'd gone through the separation and I was trying to plug through to actually finalize the divorce, and it was brutal. And he was going through the separation phase, and it was like, we bonded over that. And it's hard. And it was super vulnerable of like, you think your life is going to end up some way and it doesn't. And so we bonded, we had a connection over these vulnerable points in our lives. It came back to, there was a lot of research that came into, so people that feel less vulnerable, that the people that feel a more of a connection have a strong sense of love and belonging, and they believe they are worthy of that love. Like think about that for a second. Like, if you believe you are worthy of love, you have a stronger sense of love and belonging. The connection is crazy. And it makes sense for me because I always challenge my self-worth, and that is something that I'm working on a daily basis, but that's another subject. But they believe they are worthy of love and belonging wholeheartedly. And so Brene Brown labeled these people as wholehearted individuals. And she started to dive into these people that were wholehearted individuals that had a strong sense of love and belonging. And those people were found to fully embrace vulnerability. They were more probable of fully embracing vulnerability. Like, this is me. You either accept me or you don't, and it is what it is, and I'm going to put myself out there, and it is, I can only do me, and I can't change what you think. And it was like, wow. I mean, logically that makes sense, but on like a mental, like a self-mental state, it's like, how do you get to such a confident state? And so she dives into those things. She gave 4 examples on how to be more courageous. She gave 4 examples of how to be more courageous to get to more of a vulnerable state. But before I dive into those 4 points, we are going to talk about this awesome drink. This is a tongue twister. Back Bay Brewhouse here in Virginia has a cider. It's called Apple Blossom, and it's got this cute little truck on their can. They're right here in Norfolk. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about, because I don't have their actual address in here, but I'll put the link. So Back Bay Brewhouse, I'll put the link in my show notes as far as where you can find them. This is their Apple Blossom cider, made with a variety blend of Virginia apples. The Apple Blossom cider brings a perfect balance of tartness and sweetness with a bracing tannic finish. Tannic. Tannic. I swear, tannic. I've never heard of that. Anyway, so learning new things every day. So backbaybrewhouse.com. All right, so we're going to get into this before we get into all the other things. There we go. That was a good one. I haven't had a solid pop in the microphone in a hot minute, guys. So because I've been drinking lots of vodka. But Apple Blossom cider, it has a ABV of 6.5, so it's pretty stout for a cider. Ooh, it's got a lot of flavor. Because I'm used to the Submersive from Slide Clyde there in Phoebus, Virginia. This has got a lot of flavor. It's not bad. It's not overly sweet. That's good. Yeah, you guys should definitely try that one. Very nice. Back Bay Brewhouse, you guys. Back Bay Brewhouse. How are we going to be more vulnerable in order to be our better selves, in order to be more courageous and outgoing, or not necessarily even outgoing, just to be more confident? What are these 4 things? The first thing was to let ourselves be seen. And that was more of a stop trying to put on the cover, like especially when it comes to social media. Everybody's trying so hard to be the best version of themselves for the camera, and it's okay to let the camera see you for you, or especially your close people, to let them see you as you. You don't have to go out every night and put on a show. It's okay to let them see you for you. That's how you show your vulnerability. To love with your whole heart. This burns. So it took me a whole lot of time to love my husband when we were dating. It took a whole lot of time for my heart to open up, because I put it out there before, and guess what? It got stomped on, ripped apart, and cheated on. It was manipulated. It was lied to. It was a whole lot of other things. And my heart instantly was like, well, that's how all people are. Dumb me. But it's really hard to open up your heart when you have been hurt before. But in order to be vulnerable, you have to just open it up and be able to love with the whole thing, because if you're only loving with a portion of it, or if you've got a whole gate up, it's not going to help. So another one is, and this one is the one that I'm really trying to get back into. I used to do this on a daily practice. Practice gratitude and joy every day, a daily thing. If you are constantly reminding yourself to look for joy, you're going to see joy and goodness. Every day I would, so it's not every day now, I'm trying to get back into that habit. Every day I would write down 5 things that happened the day before. And not general, I'm so thankful for the air I breathe. I'm so thankful for the roof overhead. No, I'm like talking specifics. Write down 5 very specific things that you were thankful for that happened within the last 24 hours. So it's going to make you think. It's going to make you think. It's going to make you rattle your brain. And when you get started off, it's going to be clunky. It's going to be hard. It's not going to look pretty. But, if you had a hard time with that, then the next day your brain is automatically, or a little bit better, not automatically, a little bit better, a little easier to see the joy, the good, the things to be thankful for. And so you're going to be more cognizant of that and be like, okay, I need to remember this moment so I can write that shit down. And so if you get in that habit, you're going to stop you're not going to stop noticing the bad things, but you're going to stop focusing on the bad things, and you're going to start focusing on better and good things. So daily gratitude, daily joy practice. Not necessarily have to write them down, but just to every morning or every evening, just take a few minutes and just think about something that happened that was good from the day. And number 4, believe that we are enough. Oh, you guys, this is something I for real struggle with. I feel like if I was more, then my husband wouldn't forget. If I was more, then my kids would, and it's like, why do I have to be more? They're human. I'm human. Why do I have to be more? And I don't know why my brain thinks like this. It's probably some kind of freaking PTSD, childhood trauma, or PTSD from a narcissistic, asshole, misogynistic, egotistical husband, ex-husband, not now, ex-husband. It might be something that, or misogynistic, narcissistic, egotistical boss that I used to work for. I have a whole history of just shit and people pleasing, and so it's something that I'm working through, but I'm not there yet. And I'm okay with admitting that, but I need to work on, and so do you, need to work on believing that we are enough. Let's recap. Woo! In order for a connection, you have to be vulnerable. How do we get vulnerable? Let ourselves be seen, love with our whole heart, practice gratitude and joy every day, and believe that we are enough. Okay, challenge? Can you do it? Can you show me that you are doing at least one thing this week? Tag me. Tag me in. Let me see that you are practicing one of these things this week, and just do a quick little, take a picture of yourself and put it in your little blurb and tag at Chaotic Compass on Instagram or on Facebook, or you can do the hashtag Chaotic Compass, and I'm going to see it. So that's it. That's all I've got for you guys this evening. We are going to work on being more vulnerable, because when we're more vulnerable, we're more courageous, we're more confident, we're going to be better human beings. We are going to be drinking still, and I'm not giving that up. That is something that I'm holding on to, especially when it tastes so good. You guys need to check this out. Back Bay Brewhouse. Back Bay Brewhouse. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is fun. I'm trying my best. You got to have patience with me. I'm trying my best to get back in the groove, to get back in the flow of things. Thursday nights, like last Thursday, we had one more musical. And so last Thursday and we had like some, the younger two had parent teacher student led conferences or something. And then we had to rush over to a musical. And then, so I didn't have time for podcasting. I was like, oh, I'm going to do it on Friday. And then I was like, forgot some shit, yada, yada, yada. Things happen. Things are happening and I can't control them, and I'm trying my best, and I know you are too. So let's do this. Let's do this. Tag me in your awesome, vulnerable moments this week. And until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.